Good morning, everybody. It's been a while. I am back for this video anyways. I figured everyone would enjoy a little update on what we've been up to. As you can see, I'm sitting in my seed starting room. This is the first time I've ever had this problem. See, typically when I start seeds, I always did something dumb and they never really grew very well to begin with. Also, usually the last frost date, I don't know if you can hear it, but my cats are playing outside the room. But usually the last frost date in North Dakota is around April 6th. And it is now April 17th, I think. Hold on one second. Cats are playing outside. And they are still predicting the temperatures to dip below freezing at night. So by this time, I was actually hoping to have all my plants outside, and so oh, them cats. By this time, I was expecting to have all my plants outside and growing out there in the ground. But it hasn't. We haven't been that lucky, and you can tell by it. Some of these are struggling a little more in their small little starting cups that I used, and they're already starting to flower. I guess I planted them a little bit too early, which is okay. I mean, I've never actually had them grow so well, so I'm very excited about it. Yeah, I guess I could give you guys a little look-see at what we're doing here, how we're doing here. So the Roma tomatoes that I had planted in the grow bags are doing quite well. Even this one over here, I mean, it's got a couple dry leaves or crumbly leaves. I don't really know exactly. This one's not the greatest, but it's still doing good. And I'm only actually really having problems with this guy here. He's been drying up really fast, really easy. I need to water him again. I don't know if it's just this one plant that's been drinking so well, or anything. I'll get over here. Obviously, my peppers. Well, this one looks like it has a few leaves that are wilting a bit, but they're flowered up. They're ready for the bees to be pollinating. Got other tomato plants in here that aren't quite as big as my Roma tomatoes yet. But for the most part, my pepper plants are doing great. I was not expecting even my cantaloupe to be flowering at this point in time, but they are. My lettuce is kind of growing a bit. And like I said, I was planning on putting all these things outside by now, but no such luck. My beautiful, beautiful chamomile. Some other herbs in the back. I do need to water this morning. I haven't gotten to that yet, so and anyone who caught my elderberry cutting video, these are how these guys are doing. Aloe vera needs a bigger potter, I think. My other cuttings did not do quite as well. For a little while, my grapes were doing alright. The zinnias the cat got into. our roses. We got some wildflowers in our windowsill. And more elderberry cuttings. Look at that. Woo, look at those beautiful roots. Can't wait to plant these guys outside. And then here's my grapes that we're doing. But it doesn't look like they're doing anything anymore. Not much to actually show just yet. Peppers are growing well, tomatoes are growing well, herbs are growing well. Red currants, not so well. Elderberries are doing great. And other than that, not much else going on in here. If you follow us on Instagram, you saw that we did some work in the food forest, getting it ready. That was the one day we got up to 70 degrees. It was great. Enjoyed it quite well. And I think I'm going to go back up there and do some more work, hopefully. We'll see how that goes. Well, kind of getting a little nervous that the weather hasn't straightened out just yet. We finally got some moisture. It's been quite dry outside, so we finally got a little bit of snow rain mix. So that's kind of exciting. And well, work is starting to pick up. So at the day job. So yeah. As you can see, this peppercini plant is quite a bit too big for its little container. Hopefully it'll last long enough for us to get them outside. Well, the other day I realized that my pepper plants and my chili plants, they were all wilting. Leaves were really far down. I thought it was because of the lack of space for their roots. But what I did is I just gave them more water and they all stood right back up. So it must have been their only problem. This one, I don't know, is the best of the Roma tomatoes so far. Let's see what we got. Look at that. Doing pretty good, a little lanky, but we keep the fan on her, she'll be alright. And maybe I am doing some things wrong, but if I am, then I'll learn. I'll learn. And hopefully the weather warms up and I can plant them outside, which would be very nice because then I don't have to worry about them being in here and don't have to worry about them running out of room for their roots. Yeah. Other than that, I think this grow bag experiment's working out quite well, and I think I'm going to go do some other things. Maybe in the food forest, maybe I'll give you guys kind of a walkthrough of that. That sounds like a good idea. I got a lot of other little projects I'm kind of working on here and there, but I got to do whatever I can with the little bit of limited time I have. So, with that being said, well, let's get to work on other things. Let's do that. This is one thing I wanted to show you guys. I put this out in front of our house. It's an old watering tub, and on the bottom of it we had a bunch of like branches and stuff that I raked up, and leaves and straw and other things, whatnot. And then on top I'm gonna put some topsoil. I got a little bit there, but hopefully I'll get the planting into this thing. Looks like the weather's gonna be beautiful today, but they're not calling for that for the rest of the week, I don't think. I'll have to take a double check. Well, I'm back out here on the farm. It's a little bit breezy today. I'm in the garden. Well, will be the garden as soon as all these trees grow up. It's still been a little chilly, so none of them have really budded up much or at all. And there's still quite a bit of work that we got to do here. Behind me is where those of you who follow me and my wife on Facebook and Instagram saw me dancing around and doing work. Got a good amount done there. So I think I will probably try today to get some more done before the weather turns even worse or the wind picks up even worse. Or before the grass decides to start growing here in the garden again. And then we're stuck in the same predicament we were at the beginning of this little process this year, and having to dig up all the old weeds. Well, anyways, I suppose I'll just get to it. Well, I think the first thing I'm going to do today is just roll this boulder out of the way, because I want to finish this little area here. As you can see, there's a little bit of greenery coming through them weeds. They love anything that has to do with anything. They don't ever, stay away. So I'll have to pull some of them out, I think. But I'm going to try to get this area done behind my little bench. And then I'm going to roll this to in front of my bench once I get that done. That way I have a place to, kick up my feet. Or place a beverage of any choice. So, I just got a phone call that I had a delivery made to my house, which is pretty awesome. So I think I'm going to drive back there, pick up some lunch, deliver some lunch to Lauren because she's at work today, and then I'll get back to work in the garden, I think. I'm pretty excited. I'll have to show everyone what it is. No, I think it was delivered to our post office box, so I'm going to go check it out. Driving gravel, woohoo! Okay, so I'm sitting in my driveway in town now. You can't see nothing, can you? Let's see if I can make this better. A little bit better. I got a box. It's a small box, but it's okay. Some people might say it's kind of cruel, but really, anybody who actually knows anything about horses knows that some horses are extremely responsive to, just anything. Everything from your smallest amount of energy to just squeezing their sides or just even touching their neck, and they know exactly where to go. Well, see, the problem with the last few years with Cabela, she is the opposite of responsive. She goes wherever the other horses go, and after a big fight with her, I can make her do what I want her to do and go other places. But she's not very responsive to my legs, and I have to fight, and I have to kick with my heels hard, and my legs get extremely tired doing it. So I started using Lauren's, she tied them together. Lauren's spurs. They were too small for my feet. They squeezed, they put my feet to sleep, whatever. So, a few weeks ago, I got my own little spurs and just barely tap her, no more than this, and she listens. I can feel it. It's not sharp like some people might think. I'm not cutting into her. Just barely tap her, and she goes where I want her to go. For the most part, she's still a pain in the butt because she's a mare. They call it being marish. But yeah, for the most part, she'll do what I want her to do, and all I got to do is barely tap her with these. And these are pretty, and they fit my feet a lot better. However, these are Lauren's straps. So what did I do? Went online, and I found me some new spur straps. So maybe I'll get a chance to try these suckers out, and I bet she'll listen a whole lot more. These are really pretty, too. They're Circle Y. So I'm pretty excited about these. I suppose now I will go grab some lunch for Lauren, and then get back to work, and eventually I will get to use these, probably sometime today. All right. One more thing before I get to going out and getting the food. I do have one more item that I ordered 2 weeks ago. It's not leather, and it's being handcrafted and handmade locally. Well, as close to locally as I can get it, other than making it myself. It's down in Mandan, Bismarck area. I'm pretty excited for that, and you guys are going to have to stay tuned because that is a surprise. Okay, so I am back in the garden. Woohoo! Oh, what do I got going on here? Alright, so, let's see, how do I do this? No, that's not how I do that. Maybe? Nope. Nothing's happening. Okay, so what you see here is I got a piece of rebar and a string. So the rule, I suppose, would be that you put your wood chips down between 6 and 8 inches or so, give or take. And so what I'm doing is I put the rebar in and I tie a string 7 inches. So if I'm off an inch or so, it doesn't matter too much. And that way I kind of have an idea as to where I'm sitting for thickness of the wood chips. It's Ground's not perfectly level, and there's dips and holes and high spots and low spots, but I think it'll work for now. Okay, what you see, obviously, is my measuring stick. I need to get to about there with my string. That'll be pretty close. So I figure that'll be close enough. It doesn't have to be perfect, I don't think. So I'll go over there and do it for the other side and get back to you. I got a few weeds that started popping out, so I figure I'll get them pulled out right away. Well, this wind does not want to quit today, so I think I'm just going to go ahead and see what I can do and hope for the best. Lay out my fancy paper here. I got a 1x4 I'm going to use. Hopefully it'll weigh it down a bit. All this is going to do is help block out sunlight, I hope. Keep the weeds from growing back. Hopefully that's how that works. With the wind the way it is, I think I'm going to actually just leave it attached and then go get a few scoops of my wood chips. Doesn't look like I'm making much of a indent in these things. There's so many of them. A good problem to have. So my wheelbarrow that I usually use has 3 flat tires. So I got to replace those before I get back to using that. That's why I got to carry all these. As you can see, it's a nice thick layer of wood chips. Keep them weeds down and out. At least I think that's the plan. I hope it works. Next major project, when I'm done with all the rest of this, I think is going to be putting a fence around it. Keep them deer out. And in this wind, we are on to the next difficult part. Gotta go that long distance. Hopefully this 1x4 is enough to hold her down. If not, it'll be kind of fun to watch, I guess. I mean, not fun for me. It'll be fun for someone else. Well, let's see how she works out here. I think what I'll do is start out with just a little bit rolled out so there's less for it to catch in the wind. I think that should do the trick. As long as the wind doesn't knock over my phone again. That'd be kind of redundant. I think that worked. So we'll move around. Well, this ought to be fun. Looks like I need to move my bench so I can finish this little section out. Then I can call it a weekend for this part of the garden, at least. Depending on what the weather does tomorrow.
Now you're ready? Well, pretty much there's just an update, and I got done what I wanted to get done today. So I'm going to go try out those new spur straps that I got in the mail earlier. And yeah, anyways, happy trails.